The bricks are going to go where the red is, around, and then they can go all the way down and around and come all the way around here. So this will be the waiting area. Depending on how many bricks we sell, we'll fill it up. I don't know how we're gonna do that, because people are already saying, well, I want mine here or here, and I don't know if we can be able to do that. When you arrive, you will go through this. This will be this is a glass electronic door that will come through into the studio area. So this is both the offices and the studio area. I want it to really feel and look like a working space, which it is. TWiT will be here. This is actually the table we're going to use, but it will have leaves in it and it will spread out. So all the roundtable shows, Mac Break Weekly, This Week at Google, and TWiT will be here. And the way we're doing it is we're going to have cameras and lights that are in a fixed position. So we can just switch them. In fact, the controller is going to be right here. We have a table that rotates, so depending on which space we're shooting in, we can rotate around. This is the newsroom. This is where TNT will be in our news operation. Tom Merritt, Ayaz Akhtar, Sarah Lane, and Jason Howell will have their desks here. So they'll be working. We just put this X in. This is another brick wall. It's a facade. It's real bricks, but it's only a facade. This is just plywood. We're going to paint this red, and there are going to be bolts on it. So it'll look like it's, like the Golden Gate Bridge. This is another area. This will be like a demo area. There'll be a table here. My office, the place that you guys just were, fits into this glassed-in space. So everything that we do now could be done in there. But the only things we will do in there are shows where it's just me by myself or me with one other host. Anything more than that, we'll do.
Is that where getting the cabinet, like the?
Yeah, I'll show you. We're actually duplicating the cabinet. I'll show you that it's in the back there. This is going to be kind of a living room set. At first we were thinking of shooting into the corner, then we realized that's really boring and ugly. So the cameras are going to be here, and the living room furniture will be here facing out, which is if you can come over here and you can see it's a much nicer, more interesting view. In every case, we're going to shoot out so that you'll see this stuff. We've done a deal with Restoration Hardware, so all the furniture will be from Restoration Hardware, which has really cool, kind of retro-themed stuff. This, you can't really see it because it's covered up, but underneath here is the... Show you give you a peek. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I want to tear it because it's going to be, I'm going to put it back, protecting it. But this is, this has brushed, this is going to be a brushed aluminum thing there. And this is nice wood. But we have to keep it covered up right now. Carpets and floors go in, I think, next week. The electrical guys are here. They're putting wire in and everything. The wood is going to be red. I don't know what really good carpet, I think, something like that. And then there'll be strips of floor. So everywhere people walk or where the sets are, there'll be circles of carpet and then hardwood. There's a hardwood floor. And all the electrical is actually in the basement. We just drill holes in the floor. We put stuff up through the bottom. But you'll see when you see the basement how well that's going to work. There's a lot more still to do. For instance, this is going to have lighting tubing in it, and then semi-translucent plexi over it, so these will kind of glow. There's Crestron is giving us a lot of automation, home automation stuff. One of the things is shades that will come up from the bottom. We'll have opaque shades, but also have a green screen, so we can have it come up. And if you're watching, we can key in fish, so it looks like we're diving. That's why I want to come from the bottom up. There's a lot more still to be done. I mean, we just put in these stargates. These are going to be painted a little bit and treated, but these are both. They're lighting rigs, but they also serve a function in terms of design. There'll be desks here, staff, office, members, this is my office, as well as my studio.
Leo, isn't this about twice the size of your office down there now?
This is about the size of my office. It's pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks so much bigger.
It does, doesn't it? But it's, when it's filled with crap, it'll look just as small. But it's about the same size. It'll be so much better lit. It's going to look familiar, but much cooler, much nicer. We've got restoration hardware, furniture, Dennis is here. There'll be editors sitting here, and then this is an edit suite in here. We've got a bunch of edit suites, but more editors in there. These doors, was supposed to remind you of the screensavers. So this is, and it'll be treated a little bit to look like the red door at the back of the screensavers. So there's 2 of those on either side that we can lock. This will be lit. This is translucent, so the light's coming. There's a lot of lighting that you're not seeing yet that will glow. So this is the desk, the backdrop that we built to duplicate the kitchen. But we built this to duplicate what's behind me in the old studio.
So it'll be new again, or are you going to fence it up?
I don't know. It depends how it looks. We might distress it a little bit. They're going to start building that tomorrow, I think. And then we'll put a big table in here and kitchen and TV and stuff. I'll show you some of the antiques that Roger's been collecting. So bricks could go all the way down here. If there are enough, if we sell enough bricks, we'll bring them all the way down here. This will probably be a hangout spot also. And then Roger's been collecting. This will be another edit suite. This is another edit suite in here. Roger's collecting antique technology.
Oh, so this is where Roger moved his office.
Yeah, basically his office is here.
And here's his stuff.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of interesting stuff.
He's been haunting antique stores to collect all this stuff. So this will be all over the place. It's funny, we were going to spend a lot of money.
What antique store would have a big thing that says Leo?
You know, I don't know. They probably said Olay before. And
So you're going to spend a lot of money on bricks?
well, we were going to use foamy bricks behind the TNT that were plastic and had to be hand painted. It was going to cost like $35 grand. And I said, well, can't we just use real bricks? And that cost $7,000. So it's like, so it's funny because you have this Hollywood mentality that you know, a lot of painting goes into it and faux finishing and stuff, and we can't really afford that, so we're just going to use real bricks. So Alex is subletting about a third of the space. This will be where Pixelcore is, and I'll show you what he's doing here.
Oh, green screen.
Because he does a lot of keying and fake sets. And you can see there's a curtain rod all the way around, so you can put a black, Charlie Rose style black curtain all the way around, do that. Lighting grid is already up in the lights in. And then he's going to have a more, this area will be used for more traditional sets. He also told me he wanted to put a mocap studio in there. So this is his space. We're thrilled to have him because he's going to have a jib and a steady, and we'll be able to share. We don't want to build a green screen cove, but there are times we want to do green screen, so it's nice to have that capability. So we're really glad to have him. He's always been a great partner, and we'll be doing Mac break and stuff like that. He's moved his whole operation up from San Francisco. There's an alley behind us, we're on Telephone Alley, so there's actually a loading dock back here with loading equipment. You see the conveyor belt that comes up from downstairs, so our equipment's stored downstairs, we put it on the conveyor belt and load out our trucks for our hosts. Or our hosts. I wrote it yesterday. And right now this is not slated, but I think what we're going to end up doing is putting a hackerspace, makerspace back here, and do a maker show. Maker Magazine wants to do a show with us that we do back here. So we have people who can come in, who can check in, start using gear and stuff, making stuff, and we'll have cameras back here too, and check in with them from time to time. I really want to have a hackerspace, something like that. I'll show you the basement. comes down through the floor and goes into the server room, so all the servers can be in there, you know, safe. This is huge. The cool thing about this is we don't have to pay rent for it, because when they put in the sprinklers, they put them in just a few inches too low. It's actually not up to code, so nobody can work down here. So we actually don't pay rent for it, but it's great for us to put up. Yeah. For a party. You can't put offices, but what we're going to end up doing is all the gear, the TriCaster and everything that runs the studio above will be just below the studio, and the control stuff will be through a hole in the floor.
So just the control surfaces?
Yeah, which is great, you know? I mean, somebody might, you know, if something goes wrong with the TriCaster, Colin's going to have to run downstairs and reset it or something, but it's not a big, it's not going to be a big deal. We don't have to do that very often.
That's why we're going to get
What
me a
about
firewall.
moisture?
Huh?
Moisture.
Well, we were a little bit worried about moisture, and of course, the sprinklers are the real concern. So the gear will be in waterproof things. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. We're planning for that. We actually are going to cap the sprinklers in the server room. And there was evidence of moisture before, but I think they fixed it. So I hope they fixed it. This is all Pixel Core stuff. They closed their San Francisco office. They're building a cage. Their cage to be under their area. They put everything in the cage. We'll have a cage here, and it also gives us a place to store, you know.
And your bicycle.
And my bike, which is really fun to ride around here, although it's less fun than it was. Used to, when it was wide open, man, you could get some speed up. You want to try it?
Yeah. Have all these cameras rolling, forget it.
I'll give you a little bit better. I love this thing because it's all, you know, because it's recumbent. All the power is coming from your legs. It is so much fun. I've converted a lot of the staff to these things. So there you have it. That is the whole thing. The kid in the caboodle, about 6,500 square feet down here, 94 above. It's a lot bigger. But we'll, you know what, we'll fill it up. We will use it up. Colin, I'm going to let you cut the lights behind me.